Hello people, welcome back to the channel and welcome to those new viewers. If you're new to the channel, check out my other videos. If you like what you watch, like what I'm saying, welcome to the club by hitting that subscribe button. Today I'm going to talk about something that really it's not Jamaican based. It holds only a small percentage of it is actually pertaining to Jamaica, and it's actually credit to a negative experience that I had in Jamaica. But before I get into that, for all you guys that don't know, I live in Switzerland and I live in Zurich, Switzerland. There's a lot of good things I could say about Zurich, Switzerland, but I'm only going to narrow down to one thing because that is about the subject. In Zurich, Switzerland, for one to have a car, it is considered a luxury. Not like when I lived in the UK or when I lived in America or when I lived in Jamaica, you have to have a car. The reason why a car is considered luxury in Zurich, Switzerland is because the public transportation services here is perfect, gold star. Where punctuality is concerned, you could rely on them. You know, if I'm supposed to get from point A to point B and I want to get there, say 4 o'clock or 4:15, there's an app on your phone and you can actually get there in time. You know, there is no reason to be late for an appointment or wherever you're going. The buses and the trains in Zurich, Switzerland are 99.5% always on time. It's in very rare times that they're ever late or there's ever been a delay. And even if there's a delay, they would let you know so you can plan your route, plan alternative routes. And the cleanliness of the public transportation in Zurich, Switzerland, impeccable. I've used public transportation in the UK, I've used public transportation in Italy, I've used public transportation in Rome, and I've used public transportation in Milan. I've used public transportation in Paris, and I've used public transportation, I believe, in Germany. I can't quite remember. But with all those European countries that I just named, none of those public transportation where time and cleanliness is concerned can be compared to the ZVV, which is the company that runs the bus and train service. ZVV SBB, the bus and train service in Zurich, Switzerland. And I've been living in Zurich, Switzerland for years. So I've been using the public transportation for years. And I've never had an issue, you know. But today, I use the public transportation and I had an issue. But before I get into the issue, I have to go back to an experience that I had in Jamaica many years ago. Many years ago, while living in Jamaica, not as a child, because I moved back to Jamaica at one point where I was living there as an adult. So I was back in Jamaica as an adult. And for one reason or another, I can't remember why I had to use public transportation. But I took a bus, minivan at the time, from Meadowbrook area to Halfway Tree. I can't remember how much the bus fare was, but I remember that as I was getting off the van, I handed the conductor my fare in all coins. I can't remember how much the fare was, but the conductor was already holding some change in his hand. So when I kind of dropped my fare in his hand, it got blended in with the money that he already had. And he turned to me, you know, and in patois, he says, "Yo, I know the right amount of fare this, you know." And I was really offended, you know, because it wasn't a lot of money for the fare to begin with. And I mean, this guy doesn't know me and I don't know him, and he's accusing me of cheating him, you know. So I was really annoyed. We didn't exchange much words after that. I just gave him the look like, "You're being ridiculous," and I left. Anyway, I wouldn't know that one day that experience would become, useful in my life. And today it became useful. What happened today was I got on a bus here in Zurich, and I had a 20 franc note bill, and I gave the driver the 20 franc note, and I says to him, I need an all-day pass. And the all-day pass is for 6 francs and 80 cents. And he gave me back a lot of change, but he gave it to me all in coins. And I was wondering, why is he giving me all this change in coins? Because when he opened his drawer, I could see that he had 10 francs notes and other notes. So I was expecting a 10 franc note and the rest in coins, which would be about 3 francs 80 in coins, 3 francs 20 in coins. Anyway, I scooped up my change, grabbed my ticket, and I went to sit down. While I was sitting down, I decided to count my change. And when I count my change, I realized that he had given me back 10 francs 20. And I immediately went to him. Of course, I was speaking in German. And I told him that my change is short. This driver insisted that he gave me the correct change. And I told him that, no, you didn't give me the correct change. And the driver was also trying to say I'm withholding on him. So he's pretty much trying to say that I'm being the cheat in the situation, you know? And I was offended. Anyway, we were there for a moment where I says to him, listen, we're not discussing a lot of money here, you know? Look at me. Do I look like someone that would try to hold back? After I calculated the whole thing, it was about 3 francs that we were discussing that I was short. And so I asked him if I look like someone that would try to cheat him 3 francs. Anyway, make a long story short, dude gave him my change, and he even gave me an extra franc over. So I gave him back the extra franc and said, you're giving me too much. I was so annoyed by the situation that I decided that I'm gonna write a report to the company, because it's a never before experience in Switzerland. I mean, everything in Switzerland runs at an even keel in an orderly fashion where I'm concerned, to my knowledge. You know, there's not a lot of dodgy things that I've experienced that goes on in Switzerland when it comes to administration and things like that. So it was a first time experience for me. And to no surprise, this driver was not Swiss, and he definitely wasn't German, you know. When I told it to a friend, the first question a friend asked was he Swiss? And I says, no, he definitely wasn't Swiss. And she says, oh, I could have guessed that. But anyway, you know, big shout out to the company who responded to me almost immediately with a sincere apology. They did say to me that next time, if you should use a public transportation, do count your change right in front of the driver, which I agree with 100%, because they don't know me. I could be the cheat, they could be the cheat, you know. But I did explain in my complaint that this is a whole trick. This is not anything new, because here's the deal. The first time I went to the United Kingdom, I believe, was 1999, and I was staying in Earl's Court. And while staying in Earl's Court, I decided, let me go to the nearest shop to buy some stuff. You know, it was like a small little variety shop. Earl's Court is one of those places that mostly tourists goes to. So it was really my first time handling British pounds and get back British change. And I bought something, I can't remember what I bought. And when I got back to my hotel, I was counting the money. And while I was counting the money, I realized that some of the coins that the guy gave me back was Canadian coins. He blended in the Canadian coins with the UK coins, because obviously 9 out of 10 of his customers will be foreigners. They probably don't know the difference in coins. I remember going back to the store, and as soon as I opened up my mouth, dude did not even argue back with me. He just gave me my change. And There was another experience I had. This one was in Birmingham, England, at a place called One Stop. I went to the Poundland once. And even though I have to give the cashier props for trying it on with me, it didn't work with me, but I have to give him props. The con was simple, but it had a little bit of genius in it. So what this cashier did is, while you paid for your stuff, he would tell you how much it cost. So for example, he would say, £7 please. And then you give him, say, a £20 note. He would say to you, here's your change, £13 change. He told you how much change he's giving you, but in reality, he was giving you £1 or £2 less. So fortunately for me at that time, when he told me how much he gave me, I kind of caught on real quick and says, I know you said 13, but you've given me 12 or 11 or whatever it was at the time. So it was kind of it was genius, but it just didn't work for me. And today when I had that experience, it brought back the Jamaican experience that I had. And I realized that the conductor who was speculating or insinuating that I shortchanged them was already up in this game. He was already clued up to know that this is something that people do. You could actually drop the change in his hand, blend it in with his change while you actually shortchange him. So in a weird, ironic circle of life, if you want to call it that, a very negative and annoying experience that I had many, many years ago came back today as an actual lesson or a high opener, or let's say it wised me up. You know, the experience that I had in Jamaica and the two experiences that I had in England a couple of years ago, well, many years ago, actually clued me up. And in my report about this driver today, I had to clue up the company. I had to tell them that this is an old trick. This is a trick that a lot of thieves who are disguised as public servants take advantage of human being habit of not counting change, you know, because it's very rare, you know, when you're in places like the UK or Switzerland and someone gives you your change and you actually count it. For some reason, especially in Switzerland, you kind of trust the society and you trust the people. Most people in Switzerland are well paid, so they have very little reason to steal or to take those small change. And a lot of people rely on you having that comfort, rely on you being so, what I would say, relaxed or lackadaisic in Switzerland, you know. And that was my experience today, and I decided to share with you guys and say, oh, wherever you guys live in the world, whether you're in Jamaica, whether you're in England, America, wherever, heads up, open your eyes, be aware of these things. And for this reason, I've titled this vlog, Tricks in Change. Hope you guys found the story interesting, and if you guys have any experience with us similar to this, without a doubt, share it and make my channel a little more interesting. I was more than happy to do this video because it's non-political, it's not really serious, and it's lighten the mood or the air of my channel. So every now and then I'll squeeze these into my channel just so people can enjoy the channel and not feel so uptight that everything is based on law and politics and so on and so forth. Anyway, that's it for now. Until next time, peace.